Hey everybody, that was my sidekick. He's helping with the video today. So today is week 5 of the New Year, New You program. I'm very thankful to Megan Tim for speaking last week about mindful eating and in class for Jay David and Kelly Keys. So thank you guys for being our guest speakers. So today is going to be all about sugar. All of us know sugar can be found in pop, sugar can be found in candy. Too much is not very good for our bodies. But today we're going to get a little bit more in depth about what sugar is. And we're going to answer some of the following questions. So first we're going to start with, what is sugar? You know, we all know that it's in our food, but do we really know what it is and what it does? Secondly, we'll talk about, where does sugar come from? It actually comes in many forms and from many different places. Thirdly, we'll talk about how sugars are classified and also the different types of sugar that you can find. Next, we'll talk about artificial sweeteners. Are they safe? Are they actually sugar? What are they? We'll also be discussing the benefits and the negative side effects of sugar. And then we're going to be talking about, why do we crave sugar? Why is it sometimes addictive to us? And then, of course, we couldn't finish without talking about what do we do for those cravings or for those sugar addictions. So thank you for joining. So let's start with what sugar is. Sugar is a carbohydrate extracted from plants. There are different types of sugar. I get the question a lot, is this type of sugar better for me than this kind? Or is brown sugar healthier than table sugar? But you know, at the end of the day, all sugars are going to affect you pretty similarly. Now, some sugar might contain a few more of its natural minerals or vitamins if it hasn't been refined. But sugar is sugar. It's still going to affect your blood sugar, and excess of it is still not going to be very healthy for you. But with that being said, let's talk about some of the different types of sugar. Now, I'm only going to discuss a few because there are more than I could ever even talk about in this video. So we have granulated sugar. Granulated sugar is refined sugar. It's made from those sugar beets or sugar cane. Refined is just a process it goes through. A lot of times with the refining process, it will lose a lot of its minerals and vitamins. You also have raw sugar, and that's just sugar right before it got refined. So it doesn't go through the full refining process. Next, you have brown sugar. Brown sugar is just refined white sugar with added molasses. Turbinado sugar is just raw sugar with all of the molasses taken out of it. Corn syrup. So corn syrup is actually made from the starch of corn, but high fructose corn syrup is a little bit different. It's much more processed. You also have agave syrup. Agave syrup is not naturally sweet. So in the agave syrup that we buy, a lot of times that has been in the industry, and it's been really processed to make that sweetness come out. Now to speak a little bit about artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners are not sugar. They're a man-made chemical, although they can come from both natural or artificial sources. They typically do not have any calories or sugar. According to the Mayo Clinic, artificial sweeteners can be helpful for weight control and for people with diabetes because it does not cause a rise in blood sugar. Some concerns, though, for artificial sweeteners are that they can have a laxative effect, that they may increase appetite and in turn actually make you eat more, that they can cause headaches, they can mess with liver and kidney function, and they cause mood swings for people. So we've gone over the types and what sugar is and what artificial sweeteners are. But let's look a little bit more about the positive and negative effects of sugar in our body. Sugar can have a positive effect in our body if we're getting the sugar in natural substances such as dairy products or fruit or even starchy vegetables. The sugar in those will give us energy, but they'll also give us a lot of other minerals and vitamins and fiber to help keep us full. The sugar in those substances can really help fuel our day and keep us energized throughout the day. But if eaten in large amounts, it can cause a lot of trouble to our bodies, especially high fructose corn syrup and candies and pop and sugar that isn't in some type of whole food like a fruit or milk. If it's just sugar in a candy, it's not going to provide any nutrition towards us. It's just going to give us calories. Negative effects of sugar can include: they can become overweight or obese. They can raise your blood sugar fast. The sugar can cause bacteria to stay on your teeth or to be attracted to your teeth more, which causes cavities. They can make joint pain worse. They can damage the collagen, or what keeps your skin looking young and staying elastic. They can cause insulin resistance. They can cause heart damage. They can lead to kidney damage, and they can also lead to decreased circulation and decreased sexual health. The Heart Association recommends that most women should be getting no more than 6 teaspoons a day, or 24 grams of added sugar. And for men, the limit would be 9 teaspoons, or 36 grams of added sugar. So sugar is good in that it gives us energy. If we eat it in natural forms, it's always better. But in large amounts, we've learned that it is not great for our health. So if sugar is not great, why do we love it so much? The reason that we can crave sugar so easily is because when we eat sugar, something called dopamine is released in large amounts in our brain. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter, the primary neurotransmitter that is involved in addiction. Addiction such as cocaine or drugs or something like that. Dopamine is our feel-good hormone. When it's increased in our brain, we feel happier, more content, less lonely, less sad or depressed. So how do we work on our sugar cravings? The main way to work on it is to really get your nutrition and your meals balanced. If at each meal you have a protein, something like meat or cheese or eggs or even nuts, and you have some type of fat, maybe olive oil or a little bit of seal oil, and you also have a lot of vegetables for that fiber, you're not going to crave that sugar as much because your body is going to feel more nourished and it's going to have a very balanced meal. When you have a balanced meal, your blood sugar doesn't spike up and spike back down, which can cause sugar cravings. Another thing that I would recommend you doing is if you haven't gotten blood work done, I would recommend going to see a doctor and making sure that all of your levels are within range for your different vitamins and minerals and laboratory values. A lot of times we'll have cravings strictly because our body is out of balance and it doesn't know how to get back in balance, so it will crave something sweet or something salty or something like that. Another thing is just to drink plenty of water. And also to notice when you have sugar cravings. If you have them at night, have a balanced snack ready. If you have them when you're sad, work on stress relieving techniques or write out ways that you're going to decrease your stress or decrease your sadness other than using food. Another thing is if you're having a sugar craving, grab a fruit. Grab something that has sugar in it but also has more minerals and more fiber. Thank you guys so much for joining. There will be a handout on some healthy snack ideas since I mentioned it, and that will be on the website below. And I am very thankful that you guys joined me, and I will see you next week. Bye!